bookflowers, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my August TBR game where I'll be doing my Flower Power TBR pick. Now, basically how this works is I take these cards right here and I use them to pick the books that I'm going to read this month. I start off by using a random number generator, which I've already done, and I set it as 1 to 6 and I ended up getting the number 3. I keep my numbers low because life is busy and August is the month that I'm going back to school. So there's gonna be 3 books that I choose using these cards, along with the 1 book that I'll be reading for the Top Shelf Society for a total of 4 books, which I think is ambitious for the month of August, but we'll see. So what I do now is I take these cards and I shuffle them up and I let the fates decide what I'm going to read. I have options like thriller and a wild card and historical fiction, things like that. If you like TBR games and you think maybe I should add a different card to my video, let me know because I love painting too and it'd be fun to add a card to this. All right, first one. Just gonna kind of shuffle them here. I can't see what it is beforehand. Okay. First book for this month is Wild Card. Interesting. It's like a free pick for me. So, all right, 1 book will be a wild card. Okay, picking for number 2. Just gonna shuffle. Let the fates decide. Classic. Okay. I love classics, but I'm gonna have to pick a short one for this month. Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay, and last one. I want something fun, like a new release. And we've got fantasy. Okay, fantasy will be good too. So now I've got my 3 cards picked. A fantasy, a classic, and a wild card. So I'm going to go to Goodreads, scan my shelves, and I'll be back to let you know what those 3 books are going to be. All right, I'm back and I have books. So one of my picks was Wild Card, which means I can pick any genre I want, anything I think will be fun to read in August. And I decided to go with Kiki's Delivery Service by Aiko Kadono, which is the story of a girl named Kiki who delivers stuff on a broomstick. It's like a fantasy middle grade children's story, and I think it's even become like it even became like a classic film. There's like a cat, and it just seems like it's gonna be a really charming story, so I think I'll enjoy it. And another card that I chose was fantasy. So for that one, I picked A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harris. This is a middle grade fantasy that looks amazing. So it says, all Betty Windershon wants is an adventure, one that takes her far away from the gloomy island where she's always lived. And then there are these like magical objects that come with terrible secrets and a curse that needs breaking. And overall, I think it just screams adorableness. And many of you know that I just finished writing a middle grade fantasy, and so I'm taking a couple months off of it, and I just want to immerse myself in as much middle grade fantasy as I possibly can. So this will be a perfect read for August. All right, and the 3rd card that I chose was a classic. So I'm gonna audiobook the classic on Scribd, and the one that I decided is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So what the synopsis said about this book is basically there's this little girl named Sarah Crew, and her father passes away and she's moved up to a room in the attic, and kind of like she's penniless and mistreated, and she has to take her circumstances and make them into something good. It reminds me a little bit of Cinderella, and so I'm excited to see if it lives up to that. I do really enjoy Frances Hodgson Burnett's writing. Secret Garden was such a special book to me, so hopefully I'll like it just as much. And then of course, it is not a TBR video if I don't add what we're reading for the Top Shelf Society. I just hit myself in the face. I don't know if you saw that. But our top shelf pick for the month of August is The Maidens by Alex McAlladines. Yes, the same guy who wrote the breakaway debut, The Silent Patient. And this book seems to be just as psychological, but also it's like dark academia, and I was told to think of it more as a mystery than a thriller. But basically we've got a Greek tragedy professor named Edward Fosca who is adored, but some people think he's a murderer, and our main character Mariana, she kind of becomes fixated on this secret society known as the Maidens. And so there's lots of mysteries within this university, and it just screams dark academia, and I'm hoping it'll be like a good summer thriller. And there you have it. That is my Flower Power TBR pick for the month of August. If you know what you're going to be reading this month, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for the TBR game going forward, let me know that too. And otherwise, I'll speak to you very soon. Bye, bookflowers.